Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on live stream music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very, very welcome. Welcome to the Live Reflections Through Music studio. I trust you enjoyed my last video on Dan Hartman and through his song I Can Dream About You. We talked about turning dreams into reality. And yeah, he died at 46, so it's good to pay a bit of tribute to his life as well. Well, we're going from there to David Daniel Kaminsky, Russian family that immigrated to the United States, and this is the only child to be born in the United States in New York in 1911. The guy we're talking about is screen music legend Danny Kaye. Now, I remember, I have very fond memories of Danny Kaye. That's why we're giving him a bit of a go today. He went to public school number 149, but that was renamed in his honour a little bit down the track. So there we go. Hey, we had Danny Kaye go to our school. We better change the name. So Danny was screen legend, actor, singer, dancer, and comedian. He was known for his physical comedy in particular. His mum died in his early teenage years, and at that time he thought, well, I'm going to do a bit of exploration. So he went to a few places, ended up going back to New York, and realising that to sort of show business is what he wants to do. In fact, in 1933, his big break came with the three, now I've got to look at this word, Turkish Orients, a vaudeville dance troupe, and it was there that he actually adopted the name Danny Kaye. These guys actually did a bit of an Asian tour, and it was in Osaka where there was a pretty bad storm, and apparently all the electricity went down. And to put the crowd at ease, he shone a torch on his face and performed to them and entertained them. And so this is how incredible Danny Kaye actually is at being able to just make things up on the spot. He loves ad lib, and he's just really, really clever at what he does. And soon, it wasn't long, there was a bit of a quiet patch there for a while, but soon films started calling, Hollywood and Broadway, and so he did both movies and stage shows, and from that point on he had a pretty amazing career. And certainly back in that vaudeville era, this guy's renowned for being able to get his words out really, really clearly. And we had Tchaikovsky and other Russians. There's so many words in here. It just shows that he can just deliver this sort of stuff really, really well. So we've got a live version of him doing his famous skit there. So movies came calling. Now, for me, the movie that really, I suppose, I remember him by is Hans Christian Andersen, that came out in 1952. In fact, Denmark was so taken with this movie because Hans Christian Andersen was Danish that they actually knighted him for this performance. It's pretty cool. Hans Christian Andersen was renowned for his storytelling and the way that he told stories in such a way that people's hearts just melted. We got a really nice, beautiful clip here. One of Hans Christian Andersen's most famous stories is The Ugly Duckling. The duckling that wasn't a duck at all was actually a swan. And so here he is singing this song to a kid who just needs a bit of a lift. So when I think of Hans Christian Andersen, this is my go-to spot right here. And so we've got that clip for you. We're talking about a different era, but there's just something priceless about this kind of organicness that this particular clip has. 1954, out came the amazing movie White Christmas. Of course, the song White Christmas went to number one in many, many places. Bing Crosby's breakthrough hit. Well, to be in a movie with Bing Crosby, you've made it. And so Danny Kaye was actually in White Christmas. We've got a couple of clips of that movie. We've got a bit of a tap dance sequence because Danny Kaye could dance really well. And we've got the mandatory romantic scene as well with him and the girl, and they're doing the whole dancing around the beautiful garden thing. So we've got two movies from White Christmas. Then go forward to 1956 and The Court Jester. Now this is a very, very funny indeed. We've got the pestle with a kessel. I can't do it. Palace in the chalice where the brew is true, and the pestle for the kessel where the poison is. Anyway, we got an amazing clip there about the words and him trying to remember which cup has the poison in it. Really clever acting from all the people in this part. And of course, they changed the order at the end just to make real life really pleasing. So we've got a clip from the court jester for you. A little bit later, I thought we'd better try and get something live. So I've got Danny Kaye conducting an orchestra, but what he does, instead of actually turning his back, he faces the audience as he conducts, and he does a few other interesting things like chatting up a lead violinist and telling a brass player off for not doing the right thing. And so we've got a pretty amazing clip of Danny Kaye actually conducting an orchestra. Danny also had a bit of a radio career as well, which is pretty good in the 1940s. Now, the thing about Danny Kaye, perfect pitch, this guy, he did never learn music, this guy. He had perfect pitch and he was renowned for his flamboyant style. Between 1937 and 1969, there were 23 movies, many TV appearances, and there were many albums, many chart-topping songs, including I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts, Wonderful Copenhagen from the Hans Christian Andersen movie, plus a few other clips like that. So he had a success pretty much at stage, screen, music and radio. So a bit of an all-rounder, this guy. He has received awards. As I said, they got knighted in Denmark for his portrayal of Hans Christian Andersen. He received the French Legion of Honor as well. Posthumously, the American Presidential Medal of Freedom, American Theatre Hall of Fame. He's received 2 Golden Globe Awards. He's received an honorary Oscar for his work on screen. He has an asteroid named after him, 6546K. He's got 3 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for music, theatre and radio. And he's got a street in Texas named after him as well. And the works of Danny Kaye and his collaborators are in the Library of Congress. And so this just shows that this guy is extremely significant in the world of show business. An American treasure, absolutely, but a world treasure thinking, because this guy just had a really beautiful heart about him. And people just flocked to see this guy, really. But we're talking about a bygone era, and and as the years progress, these kind of people get forgotten. So it's good to be able to bring Danny Kaye back into the world a little bit through this video today. So the links to all those clips are in the description below. Before I get onto that, of course, I've got to thank you again for coming back or being here for the first time, because you are human beings after all. You're not just subscribers, you're human beings, as I've said many times now. And it's great that, you guys are hanging around, and for the new guys that are checking in as well, that's pretty good. So the links to all those videos are in the description below, and I've also included my last one from Dan Hartman, so if you want to recap on him, feel free. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to get on to a composer that very much collaborated in some of the big movies, including Batman 1989, Danny Elfman. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.